Hi guys, welcome to the video. This is the scenario 5 for the Sinister Motives campaign by Fantasy Flight Games, and this is an expansion to Marvel Champions. It's absolutely awesome. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone, for what people who might not want to know who is at the last boss or last level. So if you don't want to see that, please stop watching the video now. If you've liked this series and you want to see more, please give a subscribe and a like on the video. It really helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the rules in a second. So here we have the last section. Here we have the goblin there, and you've turned up with Venom, and it says, "You finally decided to join me. I thought you'd be faster." Shut it, Norman. I'm so done with you right now. Manners, young lady. Although I'd imagine you're exhausted, you've been through quite the ringer. Unfortunately for you, this is only the beginning. Venom starts to shriek in pain. Ah! And he seems to be kind of going into Norman, the Green Goblin's feet. He says, "By the way, I should thank you for returning my experiment. The pieces that I dissected are really nothing without the whole." And then you have a kind of Venom version of Goblin. He says, "You may have stopped Osborn before, but you won't stop us. We are Venom Goblin." This mission looks like it's going to be pretty difficult. There's a lot to it. There's a lot added into the scene. You do not have Venom helping you to start with for a bit of extra damage. And you have 3 locations over here. You have Lower Manhattan, Midtown Manhattan and Upper Manhattan, and Venom Goblin travels between them. So this is his glider token. And each main scheme accumulates their threat independently. In round 1 of the Venom Goblin's stage, he will add threat to all of the schemes depending on what their acceleration values are, again independently. Plus we have this scheme which is giving us acceleration tokens. So this one's in all of them, but hopefully we can get rid of that as well, so we do not accelerate threat even more. This acceleration outside of the main thing will apply to only the main one currently in threat, I think. So I believe this one's going to get an extra threat on it. And because of our way down the threat track, we're also getting an extra 1 person per threat on the main scheme. As you can see here, or I don't know if you can read them all, but they all say main scheme. So I'm assuming we're going to get an extra 1 threat on each of those to start with. So I'm going to set that up now and then get to the gameplay. So I will see you on the table for that. Okay guys, welcome to the playthrough. We've got a lot of stuff to fit on the table. As per our campaign log and stuff and the reputation track, we've had to each add a minion into our paths for each player, each hero we're playing, and also get a side scheme out and put what it says in the thing is 1 threat per hero on it. So instead of putting this 5 on it, I've got to put 2 on here. So that's 2. Usually if it came out the pack, it would get 5 on it. So I really want to get rid of this quickly because it's giving an acceleration token, and I also want to get rid of this. I'm not sure whether it means give it the 5 it should have, or just give it the thing. It doesn't really say. It just says, "First player must search the encounter discard pile for a scenario specific side scheme, then reveal it and place 1 threat per hero on the main scheme." So I think that means actually it starts with its 5. So once it's revealed, it has this on it, and then you get 2 extra for each hero. So I need to try and remove 7 threat off it, which is quite nasty. We've also been given a helicarrier each because of how far we got up the reputation track. And we've got a lot to deal with Goblin, so it looks like there's a lot to do. He takes 16 per hero damage, so he's on 32 to start with. And I've managed to reserve myself some cards for each of the heroes. You may hopefully see here, Swinging Web Kick and Ganky Lee are the ones I've chosen. Hoping to do a good bit of damage with Spider-Man to start with. And then also Ganky Lee helps me get extra cards for Miles Morales, so that might be useful. So they come straight into your hand, so instead of drawing up to 6, I'm going to draw an extra 5 cards and then do my mulligan as I normally would. So I'm going to move my helicarrier next to the heroes just so you can see them a bit easier. So I've got Ganky Lee, I've got Arachnobatics, Government Liaison, Monica Chang, Swing In, which is really good for doing the camouflage and stuff, and then Web Shot, which is a good damage thing and does Venom Blast. So some of them are quite good actually. I'm going to keep in most of these. A lot of Miles Morales' good cards come in the first bit. We've got, I'm only going to get rid of 1 of these cards maybe. Monica Chang's really good as well. So I quite like her. The support she gives you is great. And so I'm going to try and keep all of those actually, which is not usual for me. Agent 13 is going to be hard to get out, so I'm going to discard her as well as my second one, and then that gives me power within. So I get, after your hero uses a basic power, discard power within to resolve the Venom Blast. That's a really great upgrade, so I'm definitely going to be trying to get that out. And Peter Parker, for his 5, he's going to have Swinging Web Kick, as we said before, Spider Tracer for Justice, Enhanced Spider Sense, First Aid, and Mockingbird. Mockingbird's great for stunning an enemy, which is really good, and obviously Venom Goblin is start with 2 attack and 2 scheme, and then the second level is going to 3 attack, so I think it might be useful to try and stun him. These attached to minions get 3 threat removed as well, so if I can do that and add it to something, that would be useful, so I'm going to keep that. This removes up to 4 threat if I use the science resource, so I feel like I'm going to have to get rid of my other cards maybe. Might keep Mockingbird just in case I can get some extra things, and then just take 2 extra cards and potentially less. Oh, the web thing is good for stunning him, and extra resources are always good. I don't think I'm going to have a chance to do web up straight away, so I'm going to get rid of that on my second mulligan and then take the thing to give me an extra thwart per hero, which is good. Peter Parker's got an abysmal thwart of 1. But Miles Morales has got 2, so he might be a good person to give that thwart to. And then we're going to make a start. Peter Parker's going to be first. I'm going to use this helicarrier to reduce the cost of doing something. So that reduces it by 1. Meaning I can just get my web spinners out straight away. What they call web shooters. Get 3 on there. That's really handy to have for extra resources going forward. Then I've got a few good cards I could play. If I play a science resource, I can get for Justice out. It might be good to try and get Swinging Web Kick done as well. So I'm going to pay for all of these to do the Swinging Web Kick, which is a 8 damage to an enemy. So I'm going to do 8 damage to Venom Goblin straight away and try and just whack him down a bit to 32 to 24, because that is needed. And then I'm going to go for one of these and the science resource of Peter's to play the 4 Justice event, which will remove 4 threat from a scheme. So I'm going to try and take 4 off this scheme, which knocks it down to 3. And then hopefully I can get rid of that soon. Then if I flip to Peter Parker, I can do, trying to do damage and kill stuff. I can do a nice 2 damage to this but Symbiote Berserker, and then Miles Morales might be able to kill him off in a second. Hopefully that will help me. I can, yeah, so I can done 2 damage with Spider-Man. That's all Spider-Man can do. Miles needs to flip over to do stuff. He gets +1 attack, so it's most probably worth me doing the 1 attack for now to get this guy dead. Which puts him into discard over here. Let's move that down so I can see it. That takes 1 counter off here. There should have been 4 on it to start with. There's now only 3. Then we can try and kill someone else if I can. I can do 4 damage and then the Venom Blast ability, which would be useful. And then if I can do some removing 4 threat, that might be good as well. So swinging in a web shot are what I'm trying to do. I can choose to make a card 1 cheaper as well. So I should try and play all of these really. They're all really good. It's a shame I can't do all of them. I can Kankili would give me an extra card. So that would give me an extra resource, potentially an extra double if I'm lucky. So I might play Helicarrier to get 1 off this, and then pay. No, I've got Arachnobatics maybe down to do that. Then I can turn that to get me a free card. which is the double energy. That's really handy. So I would like to get the Venom Blast thing into play, which I should have had before because I'm stupid, I didn't think of it. So I'll play this to do the web shot, double energy to do the web shot, which deals 4 damage, and I played for it with electricity, so he also does Venom Blast. So I'll do 4 damage to this symbiote and kill him off, which knocks this down to 2. Then it does the Venom Blast ability, which is where you deal 2 damage and you stun the enemy. So we'll stun Goblin so he can't attack straight away next time, and give him 2 damage. That knocks him to 22, but I haven't taken away this Festering Mess side scheme. So if I do the 4th threat, then I could take that away. Or I could give myself this good upgrade. Yeah, I'm going to have to do the threat removal. I think I want to get rid of acceleration tokens as much as I can. Therefore this is going to have to go down to nothing. That will go away. That side scheme has been dealt with. That knocks this by 1 as well. So we've nearly got rid of this acceleration now as well. Unfortunately I haven't touched any of these. And Venom Goblin is going to activate against you and move the glider counter to the main scheme with the least threat. And choose to either place 2 threat on that main scheme or resolve its special ability. So to start with, he'll do his normal stage 1 where he'll do a bit of threat. He's going to attack because we're in Spider-Man form. I'll exhaust all these cards and then draw up in case we get any cards we can use to interrupt. So Spider-Man's getting 5, double energy, nice. Oh, I can get any treachery cards, I can get rid of those maybe. And the Power of Justice, which pays for Justice cards, which is great. And then I'm getting 5 more for Miles Morales as well, who's going to have the web shooters, defense mechanism. After your hero uses a basic power, discard it to use a camouflage, web shot again for 4 damage, melee card which I added earlier into my deck, and then government liaison, which helps you to reduce the cost of shield cards. That can be really useful for Miles, so potentially decent, but nothing to interrupt. But so he's not going to get hit. Well, he'll get hit, but Spider-Man won't. The threat goes on now as per the cards. So the acceleration token is still out, so the main scheme is getting 1 per hero plus this extra 1. So he's getting 3 more, so it's up to 9. The lower Manhattan is getting 2 extra, so that'll knock it to 6. So I'll just swap the 5 for a 3. And the upper Manhattan gets 1 per player, so that's going up to 4 from 2. So as you can see, these threats go up really rapidly. We need to try and avoid them. He wouldn't be able to attack Peter Parker because he's got stun, and then he would attack Miles, and it's whether I can block or not with someone. So Miles is better attacking and better at thwarting, so I'm going to block with Spider-Man, Peter Parker, to block out this attack for Miles. So Venom's doing 2 attack plus 2, so he's doing 4. Got a block of 3, and if your hero take any amount of damage from an enemy, you can discard the top card of your deck to prevent 1 of that damage. So I'm going to do that. I've got rid of Great Responsibility, which when you would take any amount of threat, you put it as damage instead. That's blocked me from getting any damage though, so we block out all the damage. And then each character is going to get an encounter card, so 1 for Peter Parker, 1 for Miles. Peter Parker's is Swinging Assault, which is a treachery card. The villain attacks, you give the villain 1 additional boost card for that activation. So I could block that out with the Enhanced Spider sense, but I'm not sure if I need to. I think I'll just take it. So he's doing 2 plus these 2 boost values, so 1, 2, 3. If this activation is an attack, this card gets 2 boost icons and overkill. So Peter Parker's getting 5, 6, 7. Wow, that is a lot more than I expected. I should have paid for that. So that's knocking me down to 6. That was a poor choice, but just unlucky, I think. And then we've got 1 to deal with for Miles. Oh, webbed up. This says, attached to your identity, force when your hero would attack, discard webbed up instead, then you are stunned. So, brilliant. Miles is going to get stunned the next time he goes to attack, which means he can't do 2 attacks basically. That's really nasty. And then that's the end of their going. It's back to Miles now being first player. So I need to get rid of that really. It's not ideal. I also need to do some of these threats. So I should have moved this as well. Moved it to the one with the least threat, which would be Upper Manhattan 4. And I either could have added 2 threat to it, or I should have taken this card. Discard 1 card from your hand if a symbiote environment is in play. Discard the top 4 cards of your deck. So I'm gonna have to take the 2 threat on it, I think. Don't want to discard any cards because that's annoying. Messes around with how you can play. If you ever played Hulk, you know that having 4 cards in hand is a pain. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try and deal with some of the threat instead. So that the melee attack card's not brilliant right now. Web shot card is okay for doing a bit of damage. I can use Gankili to take a card and then discard a card. Oh, okay, so that was a waste. It was another melee card. I can also reduce the cost of the helicarrier. We'll reduce 1 by 1. So that'll give me 3 web counters for Miles as well, increasing the number of resources I can get each round. So for now I'm not getting shield cards out, so I need to get rid of threat. I think I use a basic power. So I need to thwart really if I can. So I want to get out some stuff for thwart, maybe thwart for 2 for Miles. I want to take 2 off this scheme here because it's quite high. Then if I go to do an attack, which is one of these cards, it will web me up, so there's no point doing that. So I did a basic. Oh, I should have put this out first. Pay to that to get this upgrade out. Because I did a basic move or thwart, I can then do Spider-Man's camouflage ability, which means I get to put tough status card on Spider-Man and confuse the enemy. So confuse him, tough status card on me, so I can't take damage. And then if I can get this card out, then I can maybe get rid of the thing. So this is classed as an attack, so the next time I go to attack it would get rid of that and then it would stun me. So I feel like it's most probably worth doing now to get rid of quicker than I can. So I'm going to play the 1 melee card for the cost. I'm going to do this for the cost of the card there, so I've got 2 costs for the web shot. It then does the Venom Blast, which is a special, so it deals 2 damage and it stuns the enemy. So down to 20, and he is stunned. Stunned and confused, which is great, so he won't place his threat for the main part of 1. And then when he activates, he'll move his glider and drop 2 threat on it. So his stuff is mainly done. Then we've got Peter Parker, who can hopefully remove a bit more threat. I'll do some more stuff. We've got a double energy, which is good. We also have a shield generator to remove 1 cost. So let's play for Justice with the double Justice card. That'll remove 4 threat because I've used the wild, which I'm going to say is a science. I'm going to allow that to give me the cost of, I don't need to use that yet. So that's going to cost me nothing too. You can take 4 threat off anywhere. So the one with the lowest threat threshold is this one. So I'm going to drop that down to 2. And then that allows me to also then spend the shield carrier or not. Yeah, spend the shield carrier, helicarrier to get surveillance team out along with one of these. I'm going to keep the double energy because it's useful, and the treachery card I should have got rid of, used before. That would have been handy to have. So I think that's the best I can do for now. I was hoping I'd get rid of this, but there's no minions or side schemes to deal with as such. So then these all restand. He's tough and these. So unfortunately Peter Parker's not the tough one. So I'm going to block with Miles in a second, and then that'll mean he won't get damaged at all. Because he's confused, he can't thwart. But I think he moves first. It says, after Venom Goblin activates against you, move the glider counter to the main scheme with the least threat. So the least threat is this one. Either place 2 threat on it or resolve its special encounter thing. So I think he would have done his threat first, but he couldn't because he was confused. I either place 2 threat on this, or I place 1 threat on each scheme. So either 2 on here or 1 on each. I might as well put 2 on here. It's easier to deal with all of it in one place. And it's only 2 instead of 3. And then we've got an attack scheme, so he's going to attack, but he's stunned, so he can't attack. Then he's going to attack Peter Parker. Do I block? I'm going to have to block. So I'd like to be able to block it out with Miles. That means Miles is not able to attack or do anything next turn. But I think I'm going to have to go with that. I haven't dealt my cards yet though either, so I might have Spider-Man. No, I haven't. I haven't got Spider-Man's ability, and for Miles I've got Surveillance Team, Strength card, Global Logistics twice, or 3 times, bloody hell. That's unlucky. So none of these can help me with doing any of that stuff. And then I forgot to put these on before. So I'm going to block out with Miles, which takes his tough card away. He won't get damaged, but he would have done 4 damage. So we block that out, and then we get our encounter cards. So 1 for Miles, 1 for Peter. Miles is being as obligation for give it to Miles Morales. Either exhaust Miles Morales to remove the game, or discard Genki Lee and Jefferson Davis from play. If not, then this card gains Surge, but I've got Genki Lee, so I'm going to have to get rid of him, which is annoying, but that's gone. And then Peter Parker's card is a Treachery, the Villain Schemes. So I could get rid of this Treachery with the Enhanced Spider card, which I think is a good idea. I'm going to struggle to pay for the Avengers Mansion, and I've got a Helicarrier out, so I don't think I particularly need it. So I'm going to pay for that to avoid any more scheme going on all the threats, because that is a pain and I really do not want that to happen. And then we move our first player to Peter Parker. So I can not do loads of Peter Parker now that I've paid for that stuff, but I can remove 1 threat from a scheme, which I'll take off. He's got 8 there, so I'll knock that to 7. I can then use this Assess the Situation card, which gives me +1 hand size to the end of the phase. So I think that means I get to draw another card, which is Daredevil. And if I can web up Venom Goblin with Peter Parker, that would be really handy. So I can use the Helicarrier to reduce it by 1 cost, and the last of my web counters to make it 2 costs cheaper. Then play the double energy. That will give me the upgrade hero form attached to an enemy, max power 1 enemy. So I'm attaching that to Goblin. When he would attack, then I'm going to web him up, and then he'd be stunned. So he can have a bit of his own medicine, and I'll keep Daredevil until next round. Miles has got some really poor cards. I've picked up 3 global logistics cards, which is really annoying. So these aren't going to be great. If I can exhaust 1 shield card, I control to look at the top 4 cards of the deck with this card, but unfortunately it's come out at once, and I've got double strength. So I'm going to use 2 global logistics cards to get the surveillance team out, which gives me, same as over here, 3 tokens. I can take 1 off to remove a threat. So I'll remove threat from here because this is quite high. And then I sadly haven't got a lot else I can do with these cards. It's just been really bad draw of the cards. I'm going to have to keep them for later. I could exhaust the Helicarrier to look at the top 4 cards of a player deck, or encounter deck and discard any of those I like, and then put the others on top or bottom. So, thinking I might look at the top cards of my deck coming up next, and hopefully, actually it might be useful to look at the encounter. So I'll look at the encounter deck, look at the top 4 cards. If there's anything truly nasty, I can put them to the bottom or I can get rid of them. So we've got next the Advanced Treachery, Enraged Symbiote, Symbiotic Monstrosity, and then Ionic Boots, which gives loads of stuff. So these give 3 boost symbols, but if I can get, he's going to be webbed up, so if I get them to there and put the minions underneath, then he's going to not be able to attack, and these will come out as his cards. I could discard all of these. Trying to think, I could do with 1 minion out to play, so I wouldn't mind him coming out. If he's getting webbed up, he's not going to attack. So I think this guy, the Symbiotic Monstrosity, can go to the bottom. He looks hard. This Enraged Symbiote is only a 2 damage guy, so he's going to be fairly easy to kill. So he's going to get stunned when he goes to attack. Then he's going to be stunned to do this attack. So he's not going to be able to do any of the attacks. Then he'll draw a card to do that. So I'm going to put that on top. And the other 2 aren't so bad, so I'm going to put them back in. Actually, the Ionic Boots seem quite annoying and give Surge. So I'm going to put these 2 back on top. I'm going to put this underneath. And I think we've got quite a nice round coming up next at least. I can not do an attack with Miles because he's exhausted. I can do 1 attack with Peter Parker of some sort, or 1 thwart of some sort. So I'm going to just try and do a bit of damage because it's only going to do 1 thwart, so I'm going to do 2 damage to the Venom Goblin, which is 18 he's on now. And then everyone restands, get all that stuff stood up. And I can then draw my card. So I've got Daredevil already for Spider-Man, Peter Parker. I've got a Skilled Strike that gives us +2 attack for this attack. Emergency, when the villain schemes, reduce that by 1. A Backflip to get rid of damage, and a Skilled Strike. I got 2 of those Skilled Strikes, right? Awesome. And then we've got the Strength card left over for Miles. We've got Web Shot for 4 damage plus Venom Blast. Government Liaison again. Jefferson Davis, which removes 1 threat from a scheme with the least threat. And Double Life, which is, you can, when you change form, if you pay for it using a punch resource, you can ready the identity. So that's handy. I could try and attack and get rid of that. I get stunned, flip, and then do other stuff. Maybe if I need the health or something. But I can't do a lot there, so I'm gonna get attacked. Well, you can't attack, he's getting stunned because that card's there, so that'll go back into Spider-Man's discard. Then he's getting stunned, so then he would attack Miles, so the stun would go away. Forgot to do the threat on each thing and move him. Oh my god, these threats are hard to keep track of. Plus another 2 gives me up from 7 to 9. Plus the acceleration token, so 1 more, that makes it 10. That is a lot. This is going up by 2, so this will go from 6 to 8. This one also goes up by 2, so it's going to 4. And then the Venom Goblin moves to the one with the lowest threat, which is 4 over here. Either I discard my card from my card from one of my hands, or the Symbiote Environment cards in play. You discard 4 cards in your deck. So these haven't been flipped yet. That's what the Symbiote Environment is. So I can just take 2 threat on there again like I did before, and then keep trying to resolve that. So that'll give me 6. That's easy to see with the 5. I just swap that over. Oh, I've got one in the wrong place. Okay, so that's all of his threat done. and his move and his extra threat done. And then we'll get an encounter card for Peter that we know is the Enraged Symbiote. And we'll get one for here, which is the Villain Schemes. So that wasn't well placed by me. I want to see if I can stop any of that. No. That's annoying. He's going to scheme, which is going to do a load of scheme on all of these things. So you get the scheme of 2 plus 3. So he's doing 5 onto here. That is rapidly sharp from an alright position to not a great position. Then we change our characters over to here. And I've got now wanting to do a lot of stuff. I can't thwart the main scheme when this symbiote is out, so I need to kill him straight away pretty much. I also want to, I can't take from the threats from the main scheme yet, so I need to kill that, so that'll resolve this as well and get rid of the extra stuff we're doing. So if I can do 4 damage with the web shot for Miles, so that's gonna, wait, I should have got rid of that before. That should have been down to stun, shouldn't it? So then if I go to attack with Miles and get rid of his stun, then I can do my web shot for 2 using the helicarrier and the wild. So that will make it kind of free. So I'll do 4 damage to Venom Goblin, which is taking him down to 14. I'll do 2 damage to this engaged symbiote, which is from the Venom Blast. It would have also then given him a stun, but no point stunning him when he's dead. This is also then gone, so there's this acceleration token, and that is put in our victory display for the public outcry, 1 point, but it's the end of the game, so I don't think that is going to add much to it. Then we did this regular attack with Peter, so I'm going to use the upgrade to get his camouflage ability, which confuses the enemy and gives us a toughness card, so we don't get damage next time we get attacked. And the surveillance team will take 1 threat off somewhere, so placed with what the biggest threat, this one has got 11 now. And we've also got then loads of cards we can do. We don't need to really get healed. We can maybe get Jefferson Davis into play. He costs 2 strength, so I'll do that 2 for Jefferson Davis. He can also remove 1 from the threat with the scheme with the least threat, so I'll do that. Knock it down. The one with the least has got 8, so this is down to 7. Handy. And then don't really see the point in doing a double life because I've got no health to heal, but it would get me a card back into my deck. So actually, yeah, I'm going to pay for the double life with the government liaison, which would allow me to flip and ready. I don't need to be ready, but actually no, because that's going to make me get there's a threat on the scheme, and I don't really want that. So that's going to really blast up the threat. Do it both times as well, so I'm going to keep all of these cards, double life and government liaison, so then next time I can flip over and get the upgrade that I want. Then for Spider-Man, Peter Parker, we can try and do some stuff. Surveillance team will remove 1 threat. Let's remove a threat from the highest one, which is, well, they're both on 10. So this one can take less, so I'll take it off this one. If I attack, I get +2 for free. It doesn't say you can't use these together. They both cost nothing to do, and I could attack with Peter Parker to get an extra +2/+2, so that'll give me +4, and then he does 2 damage, so he's giving 6 damage, so that's knocking down the Venom symbiote to 8, and we're still only on the first level of him. I'm hoping it's not too horrible what he does next. Emergency: when the villain schemes, reduce the amount of threat placed on the scheme by 1. So these are both good. I can do these to reduce damage, and I'm going to get attacked next, but he's getting no damage and Peter Parker is pretty okay. And then I get to keep Daredevil in case I can get him out next turn. Seems a bit of a waste of a go, but I've got cards that don't cost anything and I can't spend this to do stuff, so I can exhaust the helicarrier to reduce the cost of doing something for Miles by one, but it's not really necessary right now because he's got nothing he can do. I'm going to have to keep these. The backflip's going to come in handy in a minute to get rid of damage. And then I'll get, everyone can stand back up again. And we'll end up with some, I think these in a row so you can see them. 2 upgrades and 2 supports for Miles at the minute. And 2 extra cards for Peter Parker. He's got a skilled strike again. Oh my god, got 3 of them in a row nearly. And then the one he attached to a minion to get rid of 3 threat. Which now there is no minions, but hopefully there'll be some in a minute, so that might be useful. And Miles Morales has got double life and government liaison cards, and he's also getting field agent, homeland intervention, and a melee attack that does 3 damage to one and 3 damage to another enemy. That could be useful if we get minions out. So let's see, but he hasn't got anything else. Then we have our friendly Venom doing some horrible Venom Goblin stuff. So he's confused, so he wouldn't be able to thwart straight away on all of the things. Then he'll fly across to the one with the lowest threat. So this has got 9, he's gone to 7, 10, so he's going here. I can take 2 direct damage, indirect damage, or I can get 2 threat on here. So I think Miles can take 2 damage and knock him to 7. That way we don't get more threat on the thing. Then he's going to attack because it's Miles who's main player. So Miles is going to take the tough card and, well, he'd have +2, so 4 he would have done, but he's got a tough card so he doesn't get anything. Venom would then attack Spider-Man and he does a 5 damage attack, but we're doing a backflip to get rid of that damage. Don't want 5 damage on Spider-Man. He's pretty down as it is at the minute. And then we get encounter cards, so 1 for Miles, 1 for Peter Parker. The 1 for Miles says attached to Goblin. He uses 2 bomb counters. After the villain attacks, you remove 1 bomb counter from here and you take 2 indirect damage. So he's getting +1 attack and then 2 indirect damage as well. It can be spread amongst your heroes if you want. And he gets 2 bomb counters on there, so that doesn't last forever. Next 2 attacks. So next round if he attacks, he's going to be attacking us both. It's not finished yet. Spider-Man is getting a treachery card. Don't have any way of getting a treachery card gone. So it gives you surge. It says resolve the special ability of the scheme with the glider counter, so take 2 indirect damage. So that goes away. I take 2 indirect damage. He's going to have to give to Spider-Man, which means he's going to have to flip and get some recovery. Which is a bit annoying. And then he's got a surge card as well. Oh my god, no way. Surge. Resolve the special ability. So that's a bit annoying. So I've got 4 damage there I'm taking. I think he has to take at least 1 and he can spread it elsewhere, and the only other person he can spread it to will be Miles, so I'm going to take 1 with Peter and 1 with Miles. Knocking Peter Parker to 3 and Miles to 6. And then it adds Surge on it, so we got another card, which is a side scheme. Hinder 2 per player. It says when revealed, move the glider token to the main scheme with the most threat and resolve that special ability. So this is 9 and this is 10, so it goes there. Place 1 threat on each scheme, so I have to place 1 threat. So that'll knock that to 10, that's the 8, so 11. These can 8, that's a 10. Yeah, so that was nasty. And then this is a side scheme that has 2 on it, +2 per player, so we're looking at 6 altogether. I don't think oh, there we go. I've got another 5 there. And this gives us an extra encounter card on the encounter stage, so we really want to get rid of this straight away. I do not like encounter cards, they are annoying as hell. And we need to try and get rid of the threat if we can. So Peter Parker's not brilliant with the threat. If I can get Daredevil in, he might be useful. I can get rid of 1 threat with the last of my surveillance counters, so that can take that down to 5. If I could get, I haven't got any minions to attach that to. Skilled try to give me plus attack, but I can't use that yet. When a villain schemes, reduce it by 1. Again, I can't use that right now, so I can spend these 3 plus the helicarrier to drop the cost of Daredevil down by 1. So then I've got Daredevil, and he can attack and do thwart as well. After Daredevil thwart, you do 1 damage, so I can thwart for 2, which will knock this to 3. And then it will take 1 damage off Venom, some Venom Goblin, thankfully. Then I need to try and do some serious stuff with Miles. This should have come over here as well. Spider-Man needs to heal. He also needs to not have anything turn over too badly. So hopefully I can do some serious thwarting here. Not sure what I've got over this side there. Jefferson Davis will take 1 off the least threat. So take a threat off with the surveillance counter. I can take 1 off with Jefferson. I can take 2 off with Spider-Man, Miles Morales. So there may be an easier way to do it, but exhaust up to 3 shield cards. For each one, you're 2 threat from that scheme for each card exhausted. So I could do this Homeland Adventure card for free, get me 2 schemes on. I could even do it for 3 and take 6 off somewhere, if I can get Miles to do his one and then take 1 somewhere else. That's a shield card, double life. Just can't do enough threat removal. These can't be paid for, that might be useful. So Homeland Intervention, if I use the, I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I need to do 2 with Miles, I think. That'll knock that to 1. Then I can use Jefferson Davis to also take 1 off here and get rid of the extra encounter card. Then the Homeland Intervention, I can do shield twice exhausted to give me an extra 4 off. I didn't do the camouflage, so I should have done this as well, the camouflage. So that gives me 4 off any threat from anywhere, which is going to be good to come off. All of them really. Take it off this one to knock it down to from 11 down to 7. That's the one with the most right now. I can use this for a resource. I can not do a lot of stuff, but I need to heal. So I might play the field agent, because I haven't got any field agents I need at the minute. Actually, spend this resource to get me a double life, which means I can flip over, get to Miles Morales, which means when I shuffle, I can pick a Spider-Man Miles Morales card to shuffle back into my deck, and I'm pretty sure I got rid of the 1 cost upgrade. That's really good. After you use a basic power, you can use Venom Blast. So that's handy to have because of the extra damage and the stun. So I want to get that shuffled back into my deck, which I'll put in the centre and then give it the old quick shuffle. 1, 2, and last one 3 if I don't drop everything everywhere. 3rd time's a charm. Right. Okay, so we've done 3 shuffles in there, and then if I can pay for these 2 to get the government liaison card out, that would be impossible because I've already got 3 support out. I can't do that until next round. That's annoying. I could do dual support, and that event does 3 damage, but I can't afford to pay for it, so I'm going to have to keep these cards. But Miles is on his Miles side, so he's going to get 3 more cards now for next round. He got Dum Dum Dugan, the upgrade. Oh, the upgrade I just put in, brilliant, and then Spider Woman as well. So got some good stuff. Dum Dugan does serious damage, so I want to try and get him in soon and start trying to smash through our man here, Venom Goblin. When he exhausts shield cards, he does an extra 2 damage per, or an extra 1 damage per each shield card that you've exhausted. So if we can keep these 3 in play and get Dum Dugan out, then I can do 5 per, do 3 plus the 3, I can do 6 damage for every turn with Dum Dugan. So he's a great one to get out, which unfortunately means I'm going to have to get rid of the upgrade I've just put into the deck, but I think that's what's going to happen next round. He is going to smash things up. Spider-Man's got Daredevil, who should have taken a damage, and Helicarrier. And he's going to get some new cards here. So let's see what we're going to get. Great Responsibility, take it damage. Legendary Control. Aunt May can give you +4 and alter ego. Interrogation Room. Let's remove a threat from a scheme after you defeat a minion. And the Black Cat does 1 damage, but doesn't take any consequential and lets you discard cards and potentially put them in your hand. She can be really good. I think that's most probably all I could do. I should have tried to have done something with Spider-Man maybe, because he's going to get killed in a second. Should have flipped to get Parker side, but it's too late. I didn't heal as well, so that'll give me back to 9. That's what I was meant to do, and then I'll just stood him back up again. And then we've got everything we can do for next round, really. I need to not take damage from Spider-Man. We're going to all take things on here now. We're going to get 2 extra. Then this is going to take us up to 10. This is getting up to 9. He's going to move to the one with the lowest, which is the middle one. Either we take 2 indirect damage, or we add more threat to that scheme. So we're going to add the 2 threat, and soon it's going to start cracking up, I think. Unfortunately, Spider-Man's going to die if he takes more damage, so I'm going to have to defend with Spider-Man for 3, and then he's doing 3 plus, oh god, place 1 threat on each main scheme without the glider counter, so no extra damage, 3, so that would have been 1 and 1 on these, knocking them to 10. I've got 1 5 there, knocking that to 10. This one has now gone up to 13, so that can go to 13. And then we've also got the bomb counter, so we get 2 indirect damage. So I'm going to play Aunt May next and try and just get him healed right up. So I feel like I should take damage with Daredevil maybe, and the damage on Miles because it's indirect damage. Otherwise Spider-Man is potentially dead if you get any bad encounter cards. Then Miles is being attacked as well. So Miles can't really defend, he's in the wrong form. So Daredevil is going to defend for Miles, gives him +1. So he's ended up taking 3 plus 3, 6, plus the 2 indirect damage. So Daredevil is dead. Sorry Daredevil, you were needed to save the day. And then 2 direct damage for this bomb counter, which now goes away. And he's getting down to 6 health for Miles. Okay, so that wasn't terrible, wasn't brilliant. Got an encounter card for Peter Parker. He's got a symbiotic berserker who's doing 5 health. And we've got another minion over here, an enraged symbiote, so that's 2 damage. While the minion's engaged, you can't thwart the main scheme. And this one says, while a symbiote environment is in place, symbiotic berserker gains quick strike. So we don't have any symbiotic environments yet. I mean, none of these have been flipped over yet, so we're okay for now-ish. But we need to get some damage out. I need to play Aunt May and get get Spider-Man sorted. If I need to get that in, I need to use the support there. This should have gone over here as well. He needs to get damage on stuff as well. I need to kill off the enraged symbiote. I need Miles to flip to his attack side and do an attack on the Berserker, maybe. And kill the enraged symbiote. I cannot kill the symbiotic Berserker though. Let's see what I've got elsewhere. I want to get Dum Dum Dugan into play, so I need to do some damage, but I need to also be careful what I'm doing because the threat's really high. Thwart. I can give Thwart an extra Thwart to Spider-Man Miles Morales, but he's the best at attacking as well. If Peter needs to flip over, so I can give him 4 health. Because he's at 3, he needs to be at 7 at least. Then I can take the science resource to do something. Give me an extra Thwart when he comes back to life. An extra Thwart for Peter when he's back up. Then I can play these 2 cards to get Black Cat into play. She can attack for 1, which isn't great, but I can do. I can only get 4 off him then. I don't know what other cards I've got here. If I can get anything else out. No one's confused. I can do 3 and 3 damage for these cards, which might be useful. I have to keep Dum Dum Dugan until next round. Go for so if I pay for the melee card, which is worth 3, then I can pay for it with the field agent and the government liaison card. That's the melee card done. I can then pay for this upgrade with the 1 Spider-Woman card. I haven't done the 3 damage yet to each thing, and I'm going to keep Dum Dum Dugan for next round. So if he's taking 3 damage, he's dead. He's taking 3 damage. He can then do more damage, and she can just after play Black Cat, you get to discard 2 cards and do that. So if it's a science, you get it in your hand. Alright, nice. So I picked up Swinging Web Kick, which does 8 damage, so that's going to stay in my hand for next round. Now I need to figure out the best way to kill this woman, this symbiotic Berserker even. I can, not using Dum Dum Dugan yet, so I can do some stuff. I can remove a threat from the main scheme of the least on it, so that's this one, knocking it to 9. Then what else can I do? I don't want to do this yet. I want to exhaust that with Dum Dum Dugan, so I want to keep it. I don't want to get rid of that card. Can I either do the Venom Blast or I can do the Camouflage, so I get toughness and he gets confused. So I think that's the best thing to do. If I attack Spider-Man, then I can kill off the Berserker, which I don't want attacking me. He then gets to do the, here use a basic discard defense mechanism to get Camouflage. So I could do both of these maybe. You've got to discard them, do the Camouflage and the Venom Blast. So the Venom Blast will give us 2 damage onto our main guy, who's down to 5, and then it will stun him. He will also become confused because we're doing Camouflage, and I become tough. And then we've got what we can do best, I think. That's everything we can do really for now. Black Cat can also attack for 1 damage without taking any consequential damage, so he's knocked down to 4. And then we're ready with the Swinging Web Kick and Dum Dum Dugan for next round when he comes in. So I restand everyone. And have more cards for Peter Parker. He needs 6 because he's in Alter Ego, Surveillance Team, Genius card, Swinging Web Kick, Strength, and Jessica Jones. So if I can do both of these Swinging Web Kicks, I can smash him down for some serious damage and also get Dum Dum Dugan in. That's going to really do us some good stuff. That's going to really help. I can also start by healing with Aunt May on his next round, and then we'll be alright. Miles Morales is getting a toughness card anyway, so he's not going to get damaged. He's in hero form now. We have Dum Dum Dugan, we're taking 4 more cards, so we're going to get Young Love, Homeland Intervention, Field Agent, and Double Life. So I can use him and flip him back up, but we know we're going to spend that all on Dum Dum Dugan, and then we're going to exhaust these 3 to get a mightily good attack or thwart if we need it. This thwart does 3 damage to him, so he can only get 2 attacks out if we do that. And then we've got the Venom's going to try and do threat, but he can't because he's confused. Then he's moving to the one with the lowest threat, 13 versus 9, so moving over here, and we can place 1 threat per on each scheme, or 2 on this one, so we could drop this one to 11, so that will go to 11. And then he's going to attack Miles Morales. But Miles Morales has got toughness, so he would attack anyway and get +3, so he would have done 5. But Miles is hard as nails. Then we've got Peter Parker taking an attack as well. Or block with Miles, or yes, I'm going to block this with Miles Morales as Spider-Man for 2. So he's doing 2 plus give the villain 2 additional boost cards for this activation, so 1, 2. So he's getting 2 plus 3, 5. Blocked for 2, so we're knocking down 3 health, down to 3 health with Miles. That was a bit brutal. Then we're getting our encounters. 1 encounter for Miles, 1 encounter for Peter Parker. It says the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Brilliant. So we're down to 3 health. I'm going to have to hope. Oh, the stun went before. I'm going to have to hope that Black Cat can block out the damage. So he's doing 2 plus. Place 1 threat on each main scheme. Oh, I could have survived, but she's dead. So 1 threat on each main scheme, which is nasty. That knocks that to 13. This up to 12. Right, 12, 13, 14. Starting to slowly creep up. And then we've got Peter Parker's one, which is a treachery card. I cannot stop a treachery card. If you're in Alter Ego, you get Surge. So yeah. And we've got a 4-cost Symbiotic Thrall with Guard. It says while the symbiote environment is in play, symbiotic thrall gains patrol, but we don't have patrol, so we don't have one of those. And Guard means he's got to be guarding out defense, I think. Guard is not listed on the front, but I think it means he takes any damage up before the main body. If you do attack him, I think he gets hit first. So I'm just going to double check that in the rules, because I do not want to misinterpret that and get it wrong. Guard, here we go. So keywords. Keywords guard. With any minion engaged with the player cannot attack the villain. So yeah, like I thought. Gotta kill him first before I can attack Venom Goblin, which is quite annoying because I was about to try and do loads of damage on him. So I need to try and do it another way. And then we've got this going over here. That should have gone over there. So I need to hit him for 4. Peter Parker can do quite a bit of stuff this round. What I'm aiming to get out is both swinging web kicks, which is going to cost me the helicarrier and some other stuff. But Aunt May can heal him for 4 for free. So I'm going to do that. Knock him to 11. And I can pay for both swinging web kicks with the strength and the genius. That leaves me with the Jessica Jones card and some other stuff. But I don't want to do that straight away because he's going to take up damage on him, which doesn't have overkill, which is annoying. If I had overkill, I could do 4 on him and 4 on Venom. I do not have that right now, so I'm going to try and kill this guy first and kill... it's going to be annoying actually. So if we do Miles' turn first, we play out this for Dum Dum Dugan to come into play. We pay all the rest of these 4 cards for it as well. Then we can attack for 3 plus 1 if we exhaust this card. So that'll give him 2 damage. And that will do 4 damage on the symbiote, which is dead symbiote even. Then we're going to flip from Peter Parker to his Spider-Man form where he'll get 2 damage and do... this is annoying. We do not want to do 8 damage on a boss when it's going to not really be useful for us. Jefferson Davis can take a threat off the lowest scheme, so this is on 12, 13. It's going to be this one. 1 off that. Peter Parker doesn't want to... this is annoying. So I could need 4. I pay for the shield carrier now with 1. Spend a genius to get Jessica Jones in. Then she can do an attack for 2. So she gets to attack for 2, knocking him down to 2. And takes 1 damage. Still leaving us with a good attack for next round. Peter Parker can knock him down to 0. So then that knocks him out pretty much, and that's everything I can do pretty much. So Venom Goblin's been damaged, and then it goes to Venom Goblin Symbiote Part 2. He has steady and toughness, so that means that he comes in with only being able to take 2 stuns to stun him, and toughness is the same. I think it means like he comes in with tough, so he can't be hit for damage to start with. And then steady, as it says in the character book here, you might not have seen, a character with a steady can have 1 additional stun status card and 1 additional confused status card, so he's much harder to stun or confuse. So this is why I say I've just built up all my attack to try and get him in. He's on 18 points per hero, so 36 to start with, and therefore we're starting with 36. But we're ready to smash him for quite a bit of damage to start with, especially if we can get these cards all now redone. So these are going back to being ready. These are all now ready. And we have to get 1 more card for Peter Parker. We picked up the Nick Fury card, but he's just going to get burnt next round to blow some serious damage out. And then we've got no cards now with Miles in our hands, so we've got the web shooters, we've got a genius card, got Ghost Spider, Homeland Intervention, and Spider-Man Peter Parker, which is kind of a bit of a mistake by my part. I shouldn't have him in, so I'm just going to spend him to get Ghost Spider in or something, and then do this as well. So we've got some alright cards. Nothing to block out anything, but hopefully nothing too serious comes out now and messes us up. So we've got hopefully we can take a serious hit on him next time. Got a lot of things coming in. We've got 2 on the first one, knocking it to 13. We have 2 on this one, knocking it up to 15. So that really needs some maintenance. This one is also going from 14 up to 16. Don't have any more 5s, so it's going to go there. He's got the same force response thing. After Venom Goblin activates, you move the glider count to the main scheme with the least threat. Resolve its special ability. Yeah, so you resolve the special ability. Now you do not put 2 threat on the scheme, you just do the special ability. So we don't have a choice anymore. It's just telling us what we've got to do these things. So then he's going to move to the least threat, so 13 I think, so we've got to go here. Take 2 indirect damage, so I'm going to take that to Peter Parker, knocking him to not 19, 9. And then we are going to go for being attacked. You're getting attacked, so Peter Parker needs to block because he's going to take a lot of damage otherwise. Got 3 plus 1, 4, so he's taking 1 damage. And then Miles Morales, not really too sure if he should take damage or get Jessica Jones in to do it for him. We want to keep Dum Dum Dugan, he's going to do serious damage. Miles can do 3 damage. She's going to get another 4 damage over the next 2 rounds, but he can get 3 and then further stuff on his other things. So I'm going to block with Jessica Jones. 2, so it's 3 plus 2 is 5. She's dead. Sorry, Jessica. You're a very good card, but you had to go. And then we're getting our encounters. Counter for Peter. He's got another engaged symbiote. Annoying because Jessica Jones could have done that. And this is attached to the villain. It's a 2 bomb counters thing again. So you're getting the 2 bomb counters and 2 extra additional damage. Oh, there it says after the villain attacks you remove 1 bomb counter from here and exhaust 1 upgrade and 1 support you control. It's a bit different to the one before then. It's slightly different. It's called a concussion bomb. It's not like a damaging bomb. So that's cool. Really unique and thematic. I really like that. And then we've got a 2 damage enraged symbiote who needs to be killed first before the damage comes off the Venom Goblin. So that's annoying. That's really getting in our way. I could have done with keeping Jessica Jones out because she would have been handy to have, but we didn't, so that's that done. So we're going to move our first player now to Miles. Miles is going to get Ghost Spider out with these 2 cards, and then he's going to exhaust his helicarrier to get himself some web shot things out in case I need any more resources going forward. I'm going to just try and go for serious damage now. I need to kill the symbiote. I need to get other things done. Spider-Gwen, when Spider leaves, you shuffle an identity specific card into your hand, so she can be quite useful. I don't really want to play the Homeland Intervention card for threat, but I can keep that in case I need it in a bit. So Spider-Gwen's going to take 2 damage, take 1 damage to do 2 damage to kill off this symbiote. Because you've got to get rid of him because he's guarding Venom. We also then need to do some damage onto Goblin to get rid of his toughness card. Dum Dum Dugan's about to do. We've only got 1, 2 shield cards I can do here because I've used the helicarrier already. Actually, no, I've not used the helicarrier. I've paid for it with the Homeland Intervention card. Then I've got 3 cards I can exhaust to get his shield power up. So Dum Dum Dugan is going to take 2 more damage, knocking him close to death. And then I'm going to exhaust this, and this, so that he does 6 damage. Oh, I should have attacked the Spider-Man first to get the toughness card gone. Then 6 damage off the enemy, knocking him to 30. Then we are going to use the swinging web kick. So we're going to helicarrier, swinging web kick with the double strength. Double strength, helicarrier. Then that'll do 8 damage. Then I'm going to pay with one of Miles's things. Generates us any resource, so that can be done. Plus these 2 cards, doing another 8, so that's 16 damage we're doing in 1 shot, knocking him down to 14 from 30. So that gives us quite a good chance now to kill him next round, hopefully. Then everything we've done we can do. I can flip actually Peter Parker to his Miles Morales side. Oh no, actually I want to defend. So I want to get him to stand. Get all of these to stand up. And then we've got 1 upgrade and 3 support, so we can't have any more supports. I mean, with Miles, he's got to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. That's all of the last of his cards. One's a swinging, one's a Arachnobacks, which is extra damage, so they're good. And then we have to shuffle his discard pile, which means we will end up with extra encounter cards, I think, when you get through your deck. Right. So when your player deck runs out, as you can see from the rules, where is it? Player deck. Oh no, it's gone. So if I had it there, it's hero deck, is it? Empty player deck. If player deck runs out of cards, the player shuffles their discard pile to make a new deck. Then they immediately give themselves an encounter card. So that's what we have to do, get an encounter card straight away because the deck's run out. So Peter Parker's already getting the smear campaign, which we can't do, so it puts 2 threat on the main scheme. So that's going to put 2 threat onto the scheme where he is now, knocking this to 17. So that's really close to being tripped up. And then Peter Parker is going to need 5 cards. It's sort of the same situation. All these 5 cards are his last cards. One of them's a 3 damage and one of them's an interrupt to block any attack damage. So he's going to get an encounter card straight away. Attaches to the villain. It gives him 1 more threat when you do these. To get rid of it, you have to spend electric, a science, and a fist resource. He's got a lot of stuff there now. It's a bit annoying. So I have to reshuffle Peter Parker's deck, get him back up to being ready to play. But we've got his cards for next round. I don't think we're going to need much more than 1 more round to kill him off, so hopefully we'll be able to end it soon. Then we've got our regular threat going on for him. He's doing serious threat, plus this gives him an extra boost icon when he does his checks. So that doesn't count right now, but he's getting 2 on here, which is knocking him up to 24, no, not 24, 19. You need 24 to flip this. This one is going up by 2, so it's at 16, so it's now at 18. That needs 20 to flip. And this is going to 15, and that needs 22 to flip. So that's going to 15. He's also moving to the one with the lowest amount, so that's going to be this one. I have to place 1 threat on each scheme, so 1, 1, 1. So these ones can go for 3, getting us to 19. Oh, that's dodgy. This one is going up by 1 to 20. You're going to need another 4, and this one's going up by 1 to give us 16. So we are close to some of these being done. This is really dangerous. Hopefully his boost cards aren't too bad. He's going to attack for 1 over here. I need to not die, so I really need Ghost Spider to take the damage. Unfortunately, I wanted her to stay in and help, but I'm going to have her block out. She's not doing as much damage as everyone else, so she's going to block. He's going to do 3 plus 1, and then also 1 more, so 5. So unfortunately, sorry Ghost Spider, you are dead. When she leaves play, you get to search your deck for an identity specific event and add it to your hand. So identity specific, so it means I can take a Miles Morales card and add to my hand. I'm going to try and find the one that does 4 damage, or the Arachnobacks maybe that does 1. Got to remove 4 threat there, but I run Arachnobacks in my card deck. If I can get the one that does the 4 damage, the web shot, I think that's the best one because I get Venom Blast as well if I pay for it with electricity. I'm having that. Nice one, Ghost Spider, thank you. And then Peter Parker is going to get attacked. Now I've got the backflip card here, so I'm going to just let him attack. This should have also made me exhaust an upgrade and a support. So upgrade is this one, has to be exhausted, and the support card I want to get exhausted. They're all shield cards that add to Dum Dum Doom's attack. Annoying, so I'm going to have to just exhaust one of them anyway. Just exhaust Helicarrier, it doesn't make a difference. I'm going to try and do it without your Helicarrier. So that's had to be done, annoyingly. And it attacks Peter Parker, who's got the backflip. We're still going to do this exhaust and upgrade and a support. So I haven't got an upgrade out for Peter Parker, so I'm going to exhaust Aunt May, who's the support. That's all I can do. And then we've got our encounters. I'm going to go through the encounter deck in a second as well. So there we have a symbiotic monstrosity. It says retaliate 1, steady and toughness. So it gets a toughness. Retaliate 1 means it does 1 damage back. It's steady, which means it can't be confused without 2 or stunned. And it's got, if this activation is an attack, this attack deals indirect damage. So he's quite annoying. And then we've got 1 for our main man here. So we've gone through the deck, so this means we get an acceleration token onto the main scheme. Main scheme currently being low on Manhattan, so this one's going to pick up more tokens now going forward, and it's already close to death, like we are. It gets Surge, this card as well, so we have to take out another card from the deck, so I'm just shuffling it, trying to get it random. This gets attached to the villain. This card should have gone anyway. Which gives it an extra attack. After attached villain attacks and damages your identity, place 2 threat on the main scheme as well. So that's going to be really rough. So I either need to kill him this round, or I need to get it done as soon as I can, because he's going to seriously do some stuff. That toughness symbiotic thing's been really annoying. But I don't have to attack it. From what I can see, there's no guard or it's not patrolling. It means I can just attack the main boss still. I do have to, I've added the acceleration token and I got Surge, so Spider-Man Peter Parker's getting that card, which is giving me Surge again. I hate these bloody Surge cards, like seriously. When revealed, give the villain 1 face down boost card. So he gets a face down boost card for next attack, and then I get 1 more card. Attached to the villain, uses 2 bomb counters. So we've got the smoke bombs. After the villain attacks, you remove 1 bomb counter from it and you discard 1 event from your hand with the lowest cost. So we have another thing attached to the end of the villain here. So what we need to do really is kill him off. He's got 14 damage. With Dum Dum Dugan, he can do 5 now. Peter Parker, he can do 3, so that's another 8, 10. And then I've got some cards here that can do damage as well. A 3 Haymaker and a Web Shot. So I think I can kill him now this round, thank God. So this is going over here. It's a good job this wasn't needed to be killed, because that would have really messed us up. So we've got, and the punch reverse this card. I can get the Haymaker done with Spider-Man. I'm going to pay for the Haymaker with, that's going to do anything. I'll get the Helicarrier, I'll do the pay for it with the backflip. I'll pay to do the Haymaker, which is a 3 damage, knocks him to 11. Spider-Man Peter Parker is going to do 2 damage as well, knocking him to 9. And then we've got our characters over here doing stuff. Spider-Man Miles Morales can do 3, that knocks him to 6. Now what I can do here, if I really wanted to, if I had an upgrade, I haven't got a shield upgrade, if I had one I could have put that into play, and then I could have used it to give Dum Dum Dugan 5 attack. But I haven't got that, so I'm gonna, Dum Dum Dugan's gonna die, but he's gonna attack first, and he's gonna do 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is 5, knocking the main bad guy down to 1. And then we've got any one of these attacks really for attacks. I can do Arachnobags, or I could do Web Shot. So we've got him done. I'll pay for whatever. I'll pay the Field Agent and the Swing In to do the Swing In Web Shot. Which, as you can see, says deal 4 damage. And if you use an electric, which I did to pay for it, then you get a Venom Blast as well. So not only are we doing that to him, which is going to kill him off, we have also got the Venom Blast to even give him a bit of overkill, smash him up. So we've defeated Venom Goblin, and we've absolutely whooped him. He was really difficult. I didn't think we were going to make it there. This stuff is tough. So let's have a look at what it says in the book. It says, so in the book it says that we've got to do our usual stuff for the conditions. We've won the campaign, which is awesome. Didn't think we were going to make it through there at the end, especially when you got loads of attachments and things. And then it says you win the campaign and you use the conditions to work out your total score in the end. So overall, with the extra no side schemes in play and the other things, we've ended up with a total score of 26. These haven't been ticked off these last 2 rounds because we didn't get to do those side schemes, but I wrote them in anyway, just so I knew which ones had come out. And yeah, overall we got 26, which is really good. I'm really happy with that, I think. I'm not sure what a really good score is, so let me know if you know what a good score is. Let's read through the final story bits. Obviously there's some spoilers here if you don't want to see them and you want to read them yourself. We have the Venom Goblin here going into an ambulance with the shield stuff around it, and there's guys with anti kind of biohazard wear on, whatever you want to call it. And then we have Nick Fury here speaking to Miles and Ghost Spider. Miles says, "Go easy on Ed Brock. He did help us after all." And then we have our main one here saying, "Yes, that doesn't erase everything else he's done. And Brock's gonna want that back, you know. He won't need it where he's going. Leave this to me, kid. I'm good at what I do. Besides, it's late. Don't you two have curfews or something?" And then we have Miles Morales swinging back to his house, going through the fridge, getting a sandwich and what looks like milk and stuff in there. Obviously hungry. And then his parents say, "Thank goodness you're finally home." And I don't know what this Spanish says, but it says, "Estábamos tan preocupados por ti." We were so worried about you, which is what that says. And then they're giving him a hug. And there's nothing for Ghost Spider, sadly. She just gets spinned off and no one tells us what's happening to her. Because no one cares about women, apparently, in this universe, it seems. Which is a bit weird. I'm surprised there's not more of a story here for like what she's doing. She hasn't said anything. She hasn't done anything there. She's just been kind of pushed to one side. Bit weird. But she's obviously a big part of the story up till now, so I'm surprised they haven't covered that. Seems a little bit lazy in my opinion. But it's a brilliant campaign, an amazing fun game, and I've loved every second of it. Really can't wait to play this again. I'm going to start playing it through with different characters, I think, and see which I can do best with, how I can get better scores, and try and reduce the number of errors I've made on my playthrough. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this one, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to try and do more gameplay, more Marvel Champion stuff, more Marvel stuff, more games overall, more reviews. So it really helps if you do subscribe to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.